Now, lastly, the context of him making this song, which was made in the 80s, right? You would imagine that expressing things like this, a story like this, is probably not easy in those times. What I've come to understand about the Smiths is that they have a very cult-like following. People feel very, very passionately about their music because a ton of you guys have suggested the Smiths to me. So what I understand about the band is they had a lead, a frontman who was the songwriter too, who had very poetic lyricism. I guess that's why you guys wanted me to check him out. He's also supposedly has subject matter that are very forward thinking. That is very forward thinking. Also, the guitarist Johnny Marr has been mentioned a couple of times by Noel Gallagher, who seems to be very fond of the guy. And it seems that when they made music, the impact was very strong. A lot of bands were influenced by this style. They also popped up in that film, I think it was called 500 Days of Summer, where the guy falls in love with the girl because she's listening to the Smiths, so they must have made some good music. This is one of their most famous songs. Here we go, let's check it out. I thought it'd be cool in these videos to also get a perspective maybe to start with, to lead into the track. So here's something I found out about the song with a little bit of research beforehand. The Smiths' second single, The Charming Man, depicts a story of a poor boy coming in contact with an upper class man and feeling unwelcome due to his lack of material wealth. And there's apparently some ambiguity in terms of the sexuality between the two of them, which I find quite an interesting start to this record. So here we go, let's check out the song. Here's the lyrics. This is The Charming Man by the Smiths. Okay.
Punctured bicycle on a hillside desolate. Will nature make a man of me yet? When in this charming car,
Whoa.
this charming man.
Amazing voice.
Why pamper life's complexity when the leather runs smooth on the passenger seat? I would go out tonight, but I haven't got a stitch to wear. This man said it's gruesome that someone so handsome should care. A jumped up country boy who never knew his place. He said, return the ring. He knows so much about these things. He knows so much about these things.
Whoa. Wow. Okay. That is a fucking introduction to a band if I've ever heard one. Great sound to this thing. This guy, his name is Morrissey, right? He's got an amazing voice. Angelic, ethereal kind of quality. I think it's also due to sort of a echoey effect that they've put on his vocals. Sounds amazing. Unbelievable melody he's weaving in with this really great guitar part that's going on. I guess that's Johnny Marr, right? Great guitar playing. Love the sound of that. And then so the story starts to unfold of these two people meeting each other. So this guy who's not really got much bumps into this other man who seems to be quite witty. He's got a really funny line where he said it's gruesome that someone so handsome should care. And then also there's a line about he knows so much about these things. So maybe this is an older man who is maybe further in understanding his sexuality, is what I'm kind of taking away from it, with the boy being kind of unsure of maybe what this relationship is between the two of them. Maybe he's not had a relationship between a man before. Maybe it's kind of what I'm taking away. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Let me back up, go again. Great sound to this.
He knows so much about these things. He knows so much about these things.
Love those tangly guitars.
I would go out tonight, but I haven't got a stitch to wear. This man said it's gruesome that someone so handsome should care. Na, 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 na. This charming man.
What a voice. Oh my lord.
is charming now. A jumped-up country boy who never knew his place. He said, return the ring. He knows so much about these things. He knows so much about these things. He knows so much about these things.
Whoa. 2 minutes and 43 seconds to make you fall in love with the band. That's a great track, man. So much good things to say about it. Firstly, Morrissey's voice and his writing, I'm understanding that it is his writing behind this thing, which I looked up beforehand. Phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. Great lines through the whole thing. He kept the ambiguity of the story the whole way. We didn't really get a conclusion. Like, I'm not too sure what he said. He said what he means by, he said, return the ring. So I guess these guys shared this thing with each other, and maybe they fall out and he's asked for the ring back, and thus the unsure nature of the vibe at the end of it, because you're not sure, did they get together, what happened? But it definitely does seem like the poorer younger guy is very unsure of himself in terms of this man who he's met, because he's not sure what to wear. He feels like it's not enough. I would go out tonight, but I haven't got a stitch to wear. Very British in its writing as well. Then his voice is brilliant. Really melodically was like unreal, man. He had these bits where he was like going up here and stuff. I don't know how to quite describe it. Very angelic. Great effect on his voice, and then the guitar playing and the great energy of the song was alive through the whole thing. So it's like his voice gave the ambiguity, and the music was fun and carefree and loving, maybe like supposed to represent the nature of their relationship and them meeting with each other, or at least at first. Man, that's an awesome track, dude. Whoa. He has everything, if you ask me, especially for like what I think is supposed to be like their big single. It's not like cheesy either, right? A lot of people make their big singles like annoyingly cheesy or have like a crutch to it that is like cheap, but it doesn't have that at all, right? The story is like really, you can kind of take with it whatever you will. Now lastly, the context of him making this song, which was made in the 80s, right? You would imagine that expressing things like this, a story like this, is probably not easy in those times. So I like the idea of him sort of leaving in the gray area, like what is going on with this relationship between these two people, man. Very forward thinking, just like I kind of heard about the guy. Super impressed, man. Wow, great track. That is going on the playlist for sure. Double thumbs up.